I have a senior executive role in a manufacturing company, industrial products, steel fabrication, so forth, that operates in Texas, USA, and Alberta, Canada. Some of our products ship around the world and so forth. And anybody wants to learn more about me, you can connect on LinkedIn, or I'll be happy to connect. I mean, as far as big ideas, I mean, there's a lot out there right now in that particular company, to which again I hold this equity position as well as an executive role. Concentrate a lot on the States. We feel it's very pro-business, and nothing wrong with Canada, but it hasn't found its footing yet, in my opinion. So we got a little bit of cleanup to do before we can kind of open the gates to economic prosperity. So I won't go too far down that rabbit hole, but we're very positive on the States, and so we're going to concentrate on expansion there. It's a company that's been around for 30 years. We did a management buyout back in 2021, right? The other end of my work, of course, is having an advisory business and consulting in mergers, acquisitions, capital raising, valuation, strategy, a whole bunch of things in that area. Lots again on LinkedIn. As far as big ideas there, that's more steady Eddie, opportunistic, and I take care of a few clients each year as well. But always on the lookout for other opportunities where I can work with others and we can build some value in business. So that's the short and sweet of it.
I mentioned to Calvin, as an investor for the last 30 plus years, consulting for as many years, coaching businesses for the last 15 plus years, mostly technology firms. And the opportunity has been to be able to create a space that we call peers on demand, as a way to be able to come together with other leaders, either providers of service or clients of services, or even funding people, investment or private equity. And we have a private equity session this Thursday, which you're invited to if that's of interest. What we did is we created what we call a world of CoVentures, collaborative ventures. We call it CoVentures.world, an opportunity to be able to connect with each other, share resources, strategies, connections, even funding. And a big area that we stepped into is cybersecurity. We created a cybersecurity academy to be able to provide at least resources for people to mitigate any cybersecurity threats, and even looking at some vertical markets like medical spaces, which are very susceptible to cybersecurity attacks. Along those lines, we work with Consulting Ace that offers government grants, commercial incentives, Entrepreneurs University that offers education and training for small and medium and even large-sized companies. And even in some AI companies with VenOps that's created their own AI tools, as well as Zacco.ai, Savvy.ai, that addresses not just healthcare and assessments, but also compliance for cybersecurity. And also Continuum Foundation that's focused on the virtual environment with blockchain, which is the foundation for NFTs, as well as cryptocurrencies and many other areas. Working with the Southeast Asia, World, as well as the nonprofit philanthropic area, Blackbird Global Foundation, that focuses on healthcare communities in different parts of the world, especially Africa, which they've raised quite a bit of money to be able to provide healthcare kiosks in some of those areas, as well as Recycles initiatives and Corecentrica. So my invitation is that you might consider joining our CoVentures Mastermind session that we have every Monday, on a weekly basis with other leaders, and be able to uncover some of those things. I'm coming March 6th will be a strategic investor session where we'll cover a topic in terms of leadership and the role of leadership and changes in team restructuring. So those are some of the things that are coming in addition to an investor session. And I mentioned our private equity session that we have this Thursday, and I'll put that in a link in there. So my invitation is join our Peers on Demand community. Certainly consider joining any of our free events, and consider joining our world of CoVentures. You've involved in mergers and acquisitions. You have part equity in a business in U.S. in Texas with finance. I wonder if you could share, what are your big ideas upcoming for this year, 2025, Calvin? The opportunities, maybe the challenges, but first, big idea, Calvin.
Yeah. Thank you, Rocky. Again, I'm introducing myself to this group and to learn what it's all about. As I mentioned to you earlier, before I think a few of the others joined was that I have a senior executive role in a manufacturing company, industrial products, steel fabrication, so forth, that operates in Texas, USA, and Alberta, Canada. Some of our products ship around the world and so forth. And anybody wants to learn more about me, you can connect on LinkedIn, or I'll be happy to connect. I mean, as far as big ideas, I mean, there's a lot out there right now in that particular company, to which again I hold this equity position as well as an executive role. Concentrate a lot on the States. We feel it's very pro-business, and nothing wrong with Canada, but it hasn't found its footing yet, in my opinion. So we got a little bit of cleanup to do before we can kind of open the gates to economic prosperity. So I won't go too far down that rabbit hole, but we're very positive on the States, and so we're going to concentrate on expansion there. It's a company that's been around for 30 years. We did a management buyout back in 2021, right? The other end of my work, of course, is having an advisory business and consulting in mergers, acquisitions, capital raising, valuation, strategy, a whole bunch of things in that area. Lots again on LinkedIn. As far as big ideas there, that's more steady Eddie, opportunistic, and I take care of a few clients each year as well. But always on the lookout for other opportunities where I can work with others and we can build some value in business. So that's the short and sweet of it.
It's on the manufacturing that you're doing, Calvin. What exactly do you manufacture at this point, and what is the challenge that you're facing in?
Primary product is large scale industrial helical piles, site preparation and improvement, supporting structures and so forth. The company is called Syntech Group, Cyntech. There's lots out there, and of course, that's a large market for us. We're very successful in it. Other products include pipeline anchors to control buoyancy, and we're also involved in structural steel up here in Canada.
Oh, okay.
We've been manufacturing down the States. So again, in terms of importation, I mean, we do import some product from China and so forth, but we've been paying duties on that for a while, and I guess it'll go up, but it doesn't fundamentally change what we're doing.
More. What's the challenge to scaling up at this point, Calvin?
More sales, right? More staff. I mean, we're pretty active, right? We got capacity, of course, down in Texas. We can run 3 shifts if we want. And we're heading in that direction. We're very fortunate that we're one of the leaders that have done the largest helical pile job in the world. About 2 years ago, we finished that in the Gulf there for the liquid natural gas facility that they put in, right? So challenges. I mean, it's just a matter of continuing to get out there and be competitive on the bidding and make sure we maintain our leadership position for reputation, quality, and all the other related aspects that our customers appreciate.
May I just ask something to Calvin, because he said that one of the issues to grow is more staff. What is is that a big issue in the US as well as it is in Europe as well? What is the dimension of that issue about don't have enough people to grow or to expand your business?
Yeah, I mean, it's having the right people. We have long lead times, right? These are large projects typically. I mean, it spans anywhere from solar farms all the way through to energy facilities in the midstream and distribution, and then across other different industries. We like to grow, I guess, carefully. You have to watch, of course, and manage your working capital and so forth. But having the right trained people and committing to that. So we're in the process now of restructuring some operations between Canada and the States to place the emphasis on the States. So while it's not necessarily not able to get labor or business development staff, it's a matter of doing it in the right way. There are people out there, of course, but you want to be selective and do that. So I wouldn't say it's so much that we can't do it, just that it takes time to do it correctly in amongst all the other activities we're trying to manage.
About your focus and direction, you're involved in aerospace, and you're also combining AI, artificial intelligence, and machine language. And you're looking, I think you said for funding, but I wasn't quite sure. But maybe you could share what's your big idea in your business and in your industry, and the opportunity, maybe the challenge that you're facing. Carlos?
Yeah, thank you very much. The question is, you have a problem in the Western world nowadays, even in all world, because you have a inverted demographic pyramid. So, as Calvin said, is not sometimes or usually is about to get people, even in quantity, but as well in quality. Have the right people, and if you have less quantity, you have as well probably less quality. So the question is, so in the past, you had a longer product, a longer time of the products, a longer market time of the product. So you were very stable in the context that you have to have in your companies. You were very stable in people didn't change a lot. So it was very much easier to train, to recruit, and to retain people in your companies. Nowadays, you have the market time of the products, it's lower, so you have to continuously change the contents that you have in your company. So for that, you have to be aware what do you have inside, what kind of contest, what kind of knowledge do you have in your company, and companies are not aware of that. They don't know their employees, their own employees. They don't know the knowledge of their employees or the knowledge that they have in house. And why? Because it's very expensive to study that. It's very expensive. It's very a manual job, and as it is very expensive, and in 1 year will be unupdated. So what we're trying to create is an algorithm to reach to the companies and say, okay, I want to know what kind of contests, what kind of knowledge do you have in house. So bring me the LinkedIn profile of your employees, the CV, the CV of your employees, and as well the projects that they are linked in your company. And with that, I can identify the contents and knowledge of your employees, the contents and knowledge that you have in-house. And what will we do with that? It will be easier to make internal recruitment. It will be easier to make external recruitment, and it will be easier as well to develop the other HR policies. You already to finish. We already have some AI solutions for HR. But what that AI solutions does is to put the profile in a box, the 50 CV in a box, and then the AI makes the match. But the real problem is to create the right profile, is to identify the right profile for the challenge that the company have. I have that experience in my company. So our solution is to create the right profile and to give to the companies the awareness of the knowledge and contents that they have in-house. So it is something that we are looking for some to help to grow this solution and it is something that it will be very fast to go to the market because we already are in the market to sell that. So that's what we're looking
Is there a
for.
particular vertical, ideal client? Maybe, I don't know what part of Europe you're in. Are you focused in Europe versus US marketplace? What's your ideal client, Carlos?
You have 3 layers of clients. First of all, I have thousands of contacts in my database because I make recruitment, I make retraining. So my database is already organized and structured to be characterized and parameterized by our consultants. So with that, I can identify the tendencies of the competencies offered in the market. I have as well I'm saying this in our specialization sectors like aerospace, defense, maritime, and energy. As well, I have thousands of recruitment, training, and consultancy projects that with that, if I characterize and parameterize that database, I can identify the tendencies of the competence demand in the market. And of course, what do I have? I have my company is very demanded in Brussels to be specialist and to be consultant of the European Commission about these sectors. So we have the best consultants in these clusters to parameterize and characterize my database. So the machine will learn with the best to characterize and parameterize these profiles and these projects. And after, the algorithm will identify the tendencies and the match and mismatch of that. So with that, we have three layers of market. The institutional market. For example, European Space Agency is not aware of the competences demand in the market, at least in Europe. Is not aware of the competences offer in the market. So we can offer that for institutions like European Space Agency, like European Commission, like universities. Universities wants to know what kind of competence should we develop because they are not aware. So we have the institutional market. Then we have the corporate market. As I said, companies are not aware what kind of competence and knowledge they are having in-house. So we can provide them that. And then we have people to make their career management. For example, for someone that wants to come from aerospace to energy to maritime, we can identify those paths. So as we have 10 years in the European market of the aerospace and defense, maritime, and energy, we already have the go-to the market. Let's say we already started the go-to the market. So, as I said, what we want is some funding to help us to develop our platform and the algorithm, because the database we already have it. The design of the structured design of the platform we already have it. So in 1 year, I believe that we can go to the market and be profitable. 1 year, 1.5 years.
Do you have any clients at this point right now?
Yes. We already spoke with some Portuguese universities. They want to be aware, because we have the social sciences are, let's say, very late in the development of this kind of knowledge. And what we're doing is to create a library of knowledge, skills, and attitudes and competences as well of these sectors. With that library, we can as well identify, as I said, the competences, the tendencies of offer and demand, the competences offer and demand in the market. So some Portuguese universities, some European institutions wants or are interested in our product. With that, this is the market that will give me money. That will be the cash cow. Of course, with this, we will validate the interest of our product, and then we'll go to the companies. As we are in the big cluster, we are the leaders of the skills working group of the European Aerospace Cluster. We are the leaders of the skills working group of the Portuguese Aerospace and Portuguese Energy clusters. So we are very deeply in touch with the market. So with that, we can go to the market and say, hey, we have here something that you don't have it, that can provide something that is very important for you, and you don't have, that is the awareness of the competence, in-house competence.
Very nice to meet you, Carlos and Rocky. This was a bit of an introduction session for me, so I'll look to see what the other ones are like. Your private equity one, it sounds like you've got a speaker and a topic. I'm not sure if they have opportunities for different folks to present their pitch decks or not. Of course, in any capital raising, hopefully the seeker of the capital is prepared, makes it more interesting, and see where it goes.